Hey guys, Dustin here with another NASCAR DIECAST review. Now, I know it's been a little while. I did slack off for about a few weeks, and now this is actually a huge return with none other than a Kevin Harvick DIECAST review. Now, today we are taking a look at the Kevin Harvick Cookout Southern 500 Busch Beer Throwback Darlington race winner from last season. Now, this is the car, one of the first few playoffs cars that we get this year. Now, you may know some changes from this car to last year's playoff schemes, where instead of the usual green splitter, green banner, and the green spoiler, you can just get a playoffs banner, and also the round of whatever they're in. So what can be nothing better than a old retro Kevin Harvick Busch Beer scheme. Now, this scheme right here is actually based off of the, for what it looks like, the 1996 Busch Beer can design, which, to be honest, it does look awesome. Since this is a race winner car, what we usually get is a race winner sticker, nothing special. And we also get this nice card here. Kevin Harvick Cookout Southern 500 winner from Darlington, South Carolina. This is actually the first time they went back to Darlington in the midst of a pandemic with fans in attendance. So that is awesome. The last time they were there were no fans. Now, that time around, well, actually this time around, there were fans in attendance. And of course, the rest just kind of went on from there. Darlington, South Carolina on September 6th of 2020, which is a Labor Day weekend around that time. Time of the race took 3 hours and 47 minutes, 26 seconds. Now, Lionel, you really got to make sure you proofread your stuff. I don't remember 57 cars out on the track unless if you're going all the way back to go way back into the 50s or the 60s where there were no limit on how many cars, especially with that big 37 multi-car wreck at Daytona. Total laps were 367 to make up the 500 miles. There were 7 cautions for 34 laps. Kevin Harvick led 32 laps, and margin of victory was a 0.343 seconds. There's the nice Cookout Southern 500 logo. Darlington Raceway, established in 1950, which they actually did celebrate their 70th anniversary. Atlanta Motor Speedway celebrated their 60th, but it wasn't the same. They actually did it this year. Oh, and I'm going to the second Atlanta race, if anybody's wondering. I'm going to be there all weekend long. That means I'm going to be there for the Xfinity race and the Cup Series race. Harvick scores a throwback victory at Darlington Raceway. Stewart-Haas veteran Kevin Harvick opened up the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs with a dramatic victory in the 71st annual Cookout Southern 500 historic Darlington Raceway. Now, if you're ever going to have a NASCAR race, you do want to do a cookout. Celebrating the official throwback weekend of NASCAR, Kevin Harvick's number 4 Busch Beer Ford Mustang Sport a special retro scheme. With the old school look on board, Harvick took advantage when 2 leaders tangled up ahead of him. And of course, what we're talking about is Martin Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott. They were both battling. I believe Chase was out front, followed by Martin Truex Jr., and then all of a sudden, once Truex made a clean pass for the race lead, and the rest kind of went history. Chase Elliott just kind of chopped him up into the wall. Oops. But neither at fault. It was just a racing ordeal. opening up the door late in the race for Harvick to pick up his 8th victory of the 2020 season. Now, I still don't get how can you have almost 10 wins and then all of a sudden you get eliminated in the last round before the championship race. This just does not make any sense. Harvick's 3rd victory came at the historic South Carolina track, locked up a spot in the round of 12, the 2020 NASCAR playoffs. Now remember, this is not the first time Harvick won at Darlington. We of course did review the first time they did his 2nd win. I can't remember if he didn't won at Darlington before. Could imagine it was prior before, but might go back to the 2010s for that previous decade. So here is the car itself, sporting the Busch Beer retro look, which is really amazing. Now the clean version of this is pretty good, but once you get the race version of this, it just really sets it off. So let's take a look from front to the back. We have the Mustang front, headlight decals, the grill, all the track dirt, kick up, everything from the racetrack itself. We got the nice blue oval Ford emblem. We also have that classic Busch Beer look to it with the mountains in the background. Now, whenever you grab a Busch Beer back in the 90s, this is actually the first thing that you would see on there. Or if you buy like a 12-pack or a 24-pack, it does look nice. Here's the NASCAR Playoffs banner that I was talking about with the Force. It's just really nothing special. It just says Playoffs with the NASCAR logo. Up on the roof, we have an onboard cam, followed by the little Hunt Brothers Pizza logos. We also got the number 4 and Mobile 1, and the roof flaps. Now on the sides, we have 3M, we have Lincoln Welders and Sunoco. Now the tires are actually a little much more different than we will usually see. Now I don't know. You possibly noticed the last few Darlington playoff schemes that I did. I think one of Kyle Busch, another one of Jimmie Johnson. They have that blue ring around the edge of the tires, which actually looks really amazing. And then you got the classic Goodyear here on sides. And we got the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs logo here. We also got the round of 16. Since this was a round of 16 car, and Kevin Harvick won and advanced on. Up on the back, we have the Busch Beer can right here. Up on the B pillar, we have Ford, Mobile 1, Haas Automations, Hunt Brothers Pizza. We also got 7 of the race winner stickers, but I believe there was the 8th one that was added on. We got the Busch Beer, and then the Haas Automation, Jimmie Johnson, and Hunt Brothers Pizza. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but I have not seen Jimmie Johnson became a major sponsor on Kevin Harvick in the recent weeks. It's just normally either Busch Beer, Mobile 1. Sometimes they run Hunt Brothers Pizza like they did Hunt Brothers back in Atlanta and, of course, at Richmond. But other than that, that was it. Then we have the Busch, the official beer of NASCAR, on the deck lid. Now, that's what I really... Now, when you do Throwback Week, you always like to throw in a little bit of nostalgia. This is what it would have looked like if it would have been in the past era, if Busch Beer were to be the official beer of NASCAR. Now, they did actually throw in that old NASCAR logo on there, just for the nostalgia. That's what I like. That's what I love about Throwback Weeks. I think they're going to do it again, from what it looks like. I did saw Matt DiBenedetto's scheme inspired by Elliott Sadler's scheme from the 2001 season. On the trunk, we have the NASCAR Busch Series logo. We have 01 and 06 champion. Kevin Harvick did win the 2001 champion. He also won Rookie of the Year on that same year as well, to which ironically, Harvick did a throwback version of when he first started in the NASCAR Cup Series, replacing the great Dale Earnhardt that did die due to injuries sustained in the last lap at Daytona. And then 2006 would be the last time he won a championship there, and just kind of changed everything from there. And the other side, the same way. With the exception of some track surfacing that was kicked up on the sides. And of course, there were some on the back as well, as I noticed. Now the underside, which is all molded chassis. Also the shocks and the engine, the transmission, drive shaft, and the exhaust, side exhaust. Now we have the inside look, which is just basically, again, molded plastic with a race seat, the steering wheel. Now, sometimes you have to be really careful with the steering wheel, even though. Now, if you actually did notice with the Jimmie Johnson one, it actually did shook around. I don't know if it was either the store that was at fault or I was at fault that it came off, but it kind of looked like that wasn't secured on properly. Basically, the only way to fix that up is unscrew the 6 screws, 2 up here, 2 right here, and of course 2 back here, and just lift this straight up and out. And then you got the 4 precision screws that holds the inside together. Take that off. Put some super glue on the little indentation where the steering wheel is mounted on, and you're good to go. Now let's take a look at underneath that hood. And of course, this is going to take a little persuasion. And let me get my little fancy screwdriver here. Go in there, and it was open, now it's not. Sometimes you just gotta flick it and it'll open up. There we go. Here's the inside of the engine. Got power by Ford, Mobil 1, Haas automation, and Wix filters. And there's that powerful Ford engine that actually dominated that night. And I think after that race, after this in the Bristol race, Kevin Harvick just hadn't picked up a win lately. Now there was actually a pre-order that I did completely missed out. Now I'm sure some of you noted this. This weekend is the first ever NASCAR race at Nashville, and Kevin Harvick is racing this really amazing Gravedigger inspired scheme from a Monster Jam. But the bad news about it is Lionel can only offer a basic limited quantity. And once they posted that out, almost immediately everybody started scarfing it up because they knew it was a one-of-a-kind scheme, very unique, never see it again in our lives. However, there was no special finish, no 1/64th scale is going to be produced because of the licensing between Lionel and Monster Jam. Now, when you think of licensing, you think, oh, should they get permission? Actually, they do. Think about this, for example. This Chase Race-A-Lot car that I bought for my Chase Elliott collection, yes, they use Chase Elliott's name because they got to get the licensing from NASCAR. Oops. I think there was also a few NASCAR drivers that were in cars that Disney had to ask permission for. Now, here's the Gravedigger I'm talking about now. This is actually what I'm talking about. The Gravedigger scheme right here. And of course the Kevin Harvick one that he's going to be racing. Lego did ask Monster Jam, saying, hey, we're going to do a Technic set of a Gravedigger. You think it's going to be all right if we do every likeness of him? And Monster Jam basically tells him for every set that you buy, that somebody buys, you get a commission of it, and we get a commission of it. That's how licensing works. Now, I don't know about. I'm not, into all that. That's just really it. It is how it is. Lionel's is basically told, you do a 1/24th scale, no special finish, no 1/64th scale cars. And hard to believe this, it sold out in less than an hour, which kind of blew my mind because I never expected something like that to happen. If it would have been a Chase Elliott scheme, that would have been gone in 30 minutes. But for a Kevin Harvick scheme like that, oh man, that's just something. That's just really something. But overall, that scheme just looks really amazing. I just really hope Kevin Harvick crushes the competition. Again, he might need a bigger suspension, bigger wheels. And he'd be really crushing up the competition. Oh. Okay, enough about the licensing. I think we're about to wrap up this diecast review anyway. So, anyway, if you like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more NASCAR diecast reviews. Again, I try to publish these out the best way I can, but I never fail to disappoint. However, I am also a Circle B Diecast affiliate. Link is going to be down in the description below. If you use coupon code Kruger at checkout, you get free shipping on all orders, $20 or more, which is really, really awesome. Pre-orders, work on that, but it'll take a little while for it to get out. So, anyway, my name's Dustin, and I will see you in another diecast review. Also, keep an eye out for a couple of special diecast reviews as well that I'm going to be getting real soon.